Welcome to my kitchen. I think I have cracked the code to making a copycat recipe inspired by Starbucks egg bites. I love their Gruyere. Oh, now I'm going to be saying that word multiple times in my head. You know, those egg bites, and with that cheese and with that bacon, they're really tasty. I was attempting to recreate egg bites using an Instapot. Post that I made was December 1st of 2018 as inspiration to make a light and fluffy, airy egg bite. It worked out well. However, it was not the end game. It was not the recipe that I was looking for. I wanted to create a replica of those egg bites that I could make at home and be like, you know what? I don't need Starbucks. I can just make these egg bites and have it at home anytime I want. But this has been what, 7-year journey? I just cracked the code. I will need to give credit to Chef José Andrés. I apologize. Chef José Andrés of Chef José Andrés. Maybe I said that a little bit better. I am not sure. And I heard that he was using the microwave to make a 2-ingredient recipe for the world's best omelet. And he said microwave. I was like, huh. When I was 4 years old, that is how we made our eggs at home. Crack an egg, scramble it, and we used cream cheese. It was very delicious. I highly recommend it. I'm sure Chef Jose is 100% correct. It appears that people really enjoy it. I would like to attempt a different outcome than using a microwave. I am taking the inspiration of the mayonnaise in creating this recipe. It's a very simple ratio. Let me show you. Okay, I got some eggs. 1 egg, 25 grams of mayonnaise, and 25 grams of heavy whipping cream. I am not sure why I'm talking like this. And 1/8 teaspoon of cornstarch. This is an important ingredient. We have our 4 ingredients. It is 1 egg, 25 grams of mayonnaise, 25 grams of heavy whipping cream, and 1/8 teaspoon of cornstarch. This is your basic ratio. Now, depending on how many egg bites you want to make, you're just going to use that formula and do some basic math. I am doing 6 eggs, then that means it's 150 grams of mayonnaise and 150 grams of heavy whipped cream and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. You might not have a scale. I do have a scale. When you're writing a recipe, it's a little bit easier to do it by a scale. When I did a conversion, that comes out, the mayonnaise and the heavy whipping cream comes out to 2/3 of a cup or 10 tablespoons, 2/3 a cup of heavy whipping cream or 10 tablespoons to 6 eggs. It will make about 12 egg bites. Hopefully that will help you when you're making a bigger batch. All right, so let's get cracking. Okay, got our eggs cracked. 150 grams of mayonnaise or 2/3 cup of mayo or 10 tablespoons. Oops, let me turn this on. Okay, let's do this. All right, getting there. Almost there. All right, awesome. Got that in there. Now, our heavy whipping cream. Okay, it's your heavy whipped cream. All right, fabulous. That's it. besides our cornstarch. But I'm going to whisk this together first before I add the cornstarch. And it doesn't take a lot for this to come together. Maybe 60 seconds. You don't need a blender. It's super easy to do this by hand with a whisk or a fork. Okay, now we have our cornstarch. I do like to dust it up a little bit before I scoop it out and just make it flat. Dump it right in. All right. Pretty smooth. Okay. Next up is your baking dish. Now, what you use may depend on what you have available. I have two options here. The first option is a nonstick muffin pan. This is what I've been testing this recipe out with, and it works really well. My suggestion is to make sure it's non-stick, have a nice enamel, and I know for an at-home cook, I think a lot of us have this type of baking dish. If you don't have it, it cost me $13, $12.99 from Home Goods. So it wasn't too expensive in the grand scheme of things. You're saving yourself some money if you're going to Starbucks. So, use that little budget tip. Roasting pans or a cookie sheet. You do want something with deep side because we are going to fill this with water. Now you want to make sure that your pan fits in. So that's why mine's pretty large, because we're going to fill it with water and we're going to foil it. Next thing is you want to get your oven preheated to 325. Now we want to microwave some butter. We just need melted butter. In about a tablespoon of butter, and I'm just going to melt that. Tip is melt it on defrost. Okay, well, that happened fast. Just going to use my little food painter and get the muffin tin sections. Okay, next up is our egg batter. Now, we just want to fill up halfway. Now is a great time to add your cheese. So you need some foil. My recommendation is to open your oven. That way you can balance everything a little bit easier. When the foil's not on, it's kind of hard to see. I got that in the oven. So this will need to bake on 325 for 30 minutes, covered with foil. Then after the 30 minutes, we're going to take off the foil and let it cook until it's definitely firm. It could be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. It really depends. Typically, this takes about 40 minutes altogether. Roughly 5 minutes. This burner on a medium-low temperature. Okay, gonna get this butter finished melting. Over. Oh, no, there's so much still in there. All right. For the most part, they came out. I'll deal with the other ones later. Going to take every single one of these. I'm going to put it in the pan. Now, if you want to stop at this stage and put them in the refrigerator and store them in a container, you can, but I want to create a crust or a little bit of a thin layer So that's why I'm taking this step now. And then when you want to reheat them, they'll reheat beautifully. Oh. I got a little carried away with the filming, so these got a little bit more browner than I was wanting to get, but that's okay. Okay, I'm not looking to get these too brown on the other side. Just a nice light. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This one right here. Okay. Still as good as the first time I tasted this. Airy and fluffy. It just melts in your mouth. I don't know what to say. I'm just really excited. I finally did it after 8 years. Really excited. Describing the texture in the mouth, it is just so luscious and airy. I know I used the example of a cloud. It's very, very dreamy. Try it. These heat up perfectly as well. So I had them in the refrigerator for a couple days, reheated it in the air fryer. Took about 3 to 4 minutes to reheat on 25. And yeah, held up really well. Texture seemed like just like before. I love it. I'm really happy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.